Crown molding can be an absolute pain in the ass. It's super expensive, and if you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna cost you even more. If you wanna hire somebody to install crown molding for you, you better be ready to drop thousands of dollars. I've been installing crown molding for over 10 years now professionally. I've learned just about every trick that there is. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to cut your own crown molding, saving you money, saving you time, and most of all, saving you headache. Let's get started. So the two most common cuts that you're gonna see are inside and outside 90-degree corners. So we're gonna start with an outside 90-degree corner first, and the first step to making this cut is to set your miter saw at 45 degrees. The easiest way to cut crown molding is upside down and backward. So we're gonna flip it over and put the bottom side of the crown molding up against the top of the fence, and we're gonna cut on the left side of the saw, so that's going to give us our right side of that outside 90-degree corner. Just like that. Right side done. We're gonna repeat the same exact thing for the left side, but backwards. So we're gonna flip our saw 45 degrees to this side, then we're gonna take our piece of crown molding, flip it upside down, and put it on the right side of the table saw, and that's gonna give us our left side of the outside 90-degree corner. All right, let's go lay these out on the table and see how accurate they actually are. Now we've got an outside 90-degree corner that matches up nearly seamlessly, ready to install. Upside down and backwards is the best way to do this when you can. If you've got a smaller crown molding like this, it works out. But what if you want a larger crown molding that doesn't safely stand up against the fence on your miter saw? I'm gonna show you how to make that cut. Let's go. Oh, we got a special visitor in the shop today. Let's go say hi. So most of you know we've got a resident cat named Theodore that lives in the workshop, but a lot of you have not met Claude. Claude is our 350-pound potbelly pig. He's also got a sister named Autumn, but she's a little more shy. He likes to break in and eat the cat food when I'm not paying attention. Claude's 11 years old, and he's quite the character. All right, gotta get back to work, bud. See you later. Back to that larger piece of crown. The first step to this cut is to adjust the bevel on this miter saw. Now, the bevel gauge on mine is located right here. We wanna drop it down so it reaches 33.9 degrees. Most of the time, you're gonna have a line and a mark right on 33.9, specifically for this function. Now we're gonna adjust the miter on the saw to 31.6 to the left. My saw has a stop there, most saws do, and there's also a mark for 31.6. Now when you do this, make sure your fence hasn't been pushed in like, I'll show you real quick. Make sure your fence isn't like that, because when you go to make your cut, that blade is gonna hit it. Fence should be all the way out, locked in, so you've got a clear cut to make. Now we're gonna take our crown molding with the bottom section facing the saw fence on the right side of the saw, and we're gonna make our cut. Now we've got our left side of our outside 90-degree corner. We need to do our right side. So for this one, we're gonna leave the bevel where it is, and we're just gonna rotate our miter to 31.6 the opposite direction. And instead of putting the bottom of the crown facing the saw, we're actually gonna face the bottom towards us this time. Now let's go check this one out on the table. Lines up beautifully, ready to install. And real quick, I need to give a huge shout out to my friend John Malecki, because these SHOPSHADES are the most comfortable safety glasses that I have ever worn. You almost forget that you have them on. I've literally walked out of the shop multiple times and gone about my day, and then later on realized I was still wearing my safety glasses. I've got a smaller head and they don't come off. They fit so nicely, they don't fog up. I'm gonna link them in the description. Go check them out for yourself. So for the inside 90-degree corner, we're gonna keep the same setting. So our bevel's gonna stay at 33.9. The only thing that really changes is we're going to change the orientation of the crown molding itself. So we're gonna run this to 31.6 towards the right. And now we're gonna take our crown, having the bottom face towards us this time, and on the left side of the saw and make our cut. And by the way, if your saw is smoking like mine is on basic miter cuts, it's time to change out that blade. So now we've got our left side of our inside 90 degree. Let's go for that right side. Now to get that right side of the inside corner, we're gonna rotate back to 31.6 to the left. We're gonna take our crown molding now, bottom of it facing the saw on the fence, on the left side of the saw, and we're gonna make our cut. Now we've got a perfectly square 90 degree inside corner for our crown molding. But we don't live in a perfect world, and most of our inside corners of our walls are not perfectly 90 degrees. One reason being when the drywallers finish out their drywall and they build up that mud in the corner to kind of blend it in and make it look nice, they add a lot of extra mud, which is gonna cause your crown molding to actually have a gap like that. Now do your best and caulk the rest. Will only get you so far in the world of crown molding. So what I like to do is something called coping on the inside corners. There's a couple different ways to do this. Some people like to use what's called a coping saw, which is exactly what that tool is made for. But I've got a little method that's a bit more fun and is a lot faster. I like to use a grinder with a 40 grit flap disc on it. I don't have any flap discs here, so we're gonna run to the local hardware store real quick to pick one up. Let's go on a little road trip. So I actually discovered this flap disc method like 9 or 10 years ago. I was just starting out and I was on a job site and I was literally getting my ass kicked by an inside 90 degree corner. I probably spent an hour or two just on this one cut, and the sun was starting to go down and the homeowner was home and I was feeling the pressure. So I jumped on Google and found an article about using a flap disc to cope, and that's what I did, and I've been doing it ever since. With a quick trip over the river and through the woods, we're gonna get to our local Ace Hardware. It's about 15 minutes away. The next closest store is about 45 minutes. You'll find these flap discs in the grinder section next to all the other grinder attachments. They look like this, and when you flip them over, they've got a bunch of pieces of sandpaper kind of flapped over each other. I guess that's maybe where the name comes from. Let's head back to the shop. All right. Flap disc on the grinder. I'm gonna show you one more trick to help you with this. What we're gonna do is grind away all of this natural wood color, just leaving the white. And to help you see that a little bit better, just take a pencil and go over that edge. Just helps better define the wood from the white, especially if you've got crappy eyesight like me. Now for the fun part. The goal with this is to sand down at an angle all of that natural wood material all the way up until you get to the white paint of the crown molding. So now for your inside corner, you can cut one side flush, run it all the way to the corner of the wall, take that cope side on the other end and match it up like that. And you can see you've got way more fluctuation. It's gonna leave way less of a gap, and you've got more play in case that wall's not 90 degrees. You're now a professional crown molding installer, so be sure to drop a comment and let me know what you guys want to see in the next video.